Welcome to the Be About Being Better podcast, where we help people make evidence-based, sustainable, small changes for their health that compound into huge shifts towards a better, more vibrant life. I'm your host, Abby Stasier, a health and life coach, future registered dietitian, a master's graduate from Columbia University, and a certified intuitive eating counselor. And I believe that we can't make lasting or meaningful change single-handedly. So I'm so happy that you're here so that together you can see that a diet-free, sustainable lifestyle is possible, and you can leverage that to live a better life. And remember my disclaimer, this podcast is meant to give you general information and is not meant to substitute or replace medical advice, a diagnosis, or service treatment. Y'all, can I be real with you for a second? I am really struggling right now. Y'all know that I am a fall girly through and through. I live for the season. So I went to go try on all of my fall clothes. I'm so excited. Y'all, literally nothing fit. I've gained weight in the last year. I don't have the same body that I do a year ago. And it's very frustrating. And it was honestly deflating to try on some of my favorite pieces that I just got last year and stuff doesn't fit. So this week I've really been struggling with a lot of difficult body image days, and I've been struggling with this urge to start dieting again and over exercising and restricting my intake and fighting these thoughts because I know deep down this is not what's going to help me. I know that restricting and over exercising and shaming myself only led to a disordered relationship with food, exercise, my body. It didn't help the situation. And honestly, that contributed to weight gain because we know that diets don't work and diets are actually a large predictor of weight gain because your body then becomes in starvation mode and conservation mode, and it's just not sustainable and it slows down your metabolism. So you end up swinging the other way when you finally let yourself eat again. So it's bringing up a lot of stuff for me. And even as a non-diet registered dietitian, someone that practices intuitive eating and health at every size, I have to admit, I struggle with many difficult body image days. I struggle with the urge to diet. I struggle with the urge to restrict and over-exercise. However, just because I am having these thoughts and feelings, which are very normal in our society because there's so much pressure to be striving for thinness. It's pretty much ingrained in us for years or decades. So it's hard to let go of the pressure to be striving for thinness and that desire. However, just because I'm having these thoughts doesn't mean I have to act on those thoughts. Doesn't mean that I have to take disordered action that would harm my body. So I'm like, all right, but I'm having these things. What do I actually do? How do I process this? I've gained weight. My clothes don't fit. What do I do? And my first thought was well, I probably need to buy some new clothes. All right. So I'm like, well, if I buy new clothes, I really don't want to spend money on that right now. That's a lot. I pretty much need a whole new wardrobe to fit the season that I'm in. And it's also hard too because I was already uncomfortable with the size that I got last year. And now I have to get a size up from that. I was already uncomfortable. Now this is making me more uncomfortable with the new size that I am. So it's really hard. Yes, I probably need to buy some new clothes that fit and are physically comfortable, but it is an uncomfortable experience and it's hard for me to accept that I'm a larger size. And is that really where I want to be spending my money right now? So that's really hard. And then on the other hand, I'm like, well, maybe I should just focus on my healthy habits, the ones that really aren't clicking for me right now. And if I'm just really quote unquote good, and if I'm really, really quote unquote healthy, then maybe I'll lose some weight and I can fit into the clothes that I already have. And then I had this thought that was well, what if it was a both and? Why does it have to be either or? And can I buy new clothes and also work on my healthy habits? Can I be accepting of the body that I have now and taking healthy action to improve my healthy lifestyle without being disordered? Can I approach my healthy habits in a way that's nourishing for my body, life-giving, joyful, things that don't feel like pressure or force or a punishment? Can I adequately nourish myself and also find clothes that fit? It's hard to do. It's hard to do it in our society, but I believe that we can. And it's just it's very difficult if you are struggling with weight gain right now and you are struggling with clothes not fitting and you're resisting buying a larger size. I want to remind you that, and this thought came to me as I was trying on my jeans that were literally digging into the side of me, literally stabbing me, and I felt like my stomach was just pouring over them. Wearing clothes that are physically uncomfortable are going to keep triggering you. That uncomfortable physical response is going to invite more negative self talk. So, first, we have to get clothes that fit. Because if you're not getting clothes that fit you, it's always going to trigger that negative self talk and be a constant reminder, literally, that thorn in your side that's going to keep reminding you of maybe the body that you don't like, or just inviting a lot of negative self-talk and a lot of diet talk. So we need to get clothes that fit and that are physically comfortable, because that will soothe some of our negative self-talk and soothe some of the anxiety that is coming up around our bodies. And then we also need to optimize our healthy habits. This is like shown that when our healthy habits aren't optimized, when our sleep patterns aren't consistent, we're not getting enough sleep, not getting adequate sleep, we're not drinking enough water, our nutrition is out of whack, we're eating at chaotic times, we're skipping meals, we're not nourishing ourselves adequately. When we're not moving our body, or we're not moving our body in a way that feels good, we're not managing our stress adequately. All of these things lead to inflammation in the body, leads to internal stress, high cortisol, mismanaged hormones, things that would keep weight on out of a defense mechanism, a survival mechanism, a coping mechanism in the body. So we need to make sure that our healthy habits are optimized. The ones that aren't clicking, I'm not saying that we need to go on a diet, but you need to look at the ones that aren't really working for you right now and work to optimize that and give yourself grace, be gentle with yourself, so that your body can be in the best place to sit at the weight that it naturally wants to sit at. It might be a higher weight, it might be a lower weight. Everyone's body is different, but your body will eventually level out to where it wants to sit at when our healthy habits are optimized and consistent and we're not on a restrictive diet putting our body under attack. So I really sat on this for several days and like, okay, what am I going to do? Because the clothes that I have are physically uncomfortable, and I'm just going to wear the most comfortable clothes, like leggings and sweatshirts in the meantime, as I figure out what I'm going to do. I did decide I am going to buy some new clothes, and I'm going to order online so that I can try things on in the comfort of my own home. I don't have to be under the fluorescent lights of a dressing room. And I'm going to try these clothes on when I'm not bloated at the end of the day. I always get like more distended, more bloated towards the end of the day. So try things on early in the morning in the comfort of my own home. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not buying these clothes like right before my period when I know I'm more bloated. So I'm going to be cognizant and very intentional about buying new clothes. And I'm going to buy stuff online where it's very easy for me to return. And I just saw that Amazon now, I didn't know they were doing this, like try before you buy. I ordered a whole group of clothes. I was able to buy some stuff without actually having to pay anything yet, but you get 7 days to try something on, and then you only pay for the stuff that you keep, and you have 7 days to try things on and send it back. So, okay, great. That's what I was going to do. Is like, that's actually a pretty cost effective way for me to do this. And I could see, okay, based on the items that I keep, the stuff that works, that's comfortable and also stylish, I could afford what was in that range. So that was helpful. And then I talked about this on the show before, but you need to do the comfort test before the style test. So what I'm going to do is when I get these clothes, I actually just got a couple package notifications right before I started recording. So I know some of the clothes are here, which I'm really excited about. I'm going to try stuff on without looking in the mirror. And I'm going to feel how these clothes feel on my body. Do I like how it feels? If the answer is no, I am taking it off. If the answer is yes, then and only then will I turn around and look in the mirror. Do I like how this looks? Do I like this style on me? Because again, if you get something that's stylish and it's not comfortable, you are going to keep re-triggering yourself and inviting a lot of negative self-talk. So we got to do the comfort test before the style test. So I'm going to be doing that. And that's just easier when I have more time and space in the comfort of my own home versus in a dressing room. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get some new clothes, and obviously some stuff is already here. So I'll let y'all know how that journey goes, and I'll keep you posted. And I'm also going to I'm going to be more intentional about a few healthy habits that haven't been clicking for me lately. I want to celebrate my wins. I always ask clients to do that. I want to celebrate my wins. I've been actually pretty good with nutrition and not skipping meals and not just having coffee for breakfast. I've actually been cutting back a lot in my caffeine intake, and because it was pretty excessive when I was studying for my RD exam, and I'm not proud of that, but we've made strides to change, and I feel like my body just physically is feeling better with less caffeine. And so I've been really good with my nutrition. I feel like I've been eating consistently, having balanced meals, listening to my hunger and fullness cues, really respecting those, practicing a lot of intuitive eating principles. I feel good about that. And I also feel like my water intake has been really great. But my sleep patterns have been a little chaotic as I'm adjusting to my new routine and my new schedule. And I haven't been exercising as much as I would like. I'm struggling to get into a new exercise routine now that I have more free time being back in my business full time. So I'm going to be focusing on joyful movement and moving my body more consistently, going on more walks, and focusing on my sleep and make sure I'm getting to bed on time, waking up consistently, just adding more regularity into my morning and evening routines and focusing on adequate sleep. And that's what I'm going to do. Buy new clothes, have some boundaries around that. And I'm going to focus on those two healthy habits. And that's not disordered, that's being very intentional. So I want to remind you all that if you have gained weight and you do not fit in your clothes, this might invite some negative self talk, some difficult body image, some thoughts about returning back to dieting and restricting and over exercising. And I have felt that a lot this week personally. And with that, just because we're having these thoughts doesn't mean that we have to take disordered action to do harm on our bodies. And I also want to say too that these conversations are very nuanced and everyone has a very personal relationship with their body and their history with dieting. And there's just a lot of nuance to this of like, okay, it's not feasible for everyone to just buy new clothes. And, it's grief and loss that we also have to process, grieving our older body, grieving the idealized version of our body, grieving the old clothes that don't fit anymore that we really liked, the clothes that we bought that we never got to wear because we bought it thinking, oh, okay, I'll wear this once I lose the weight, and we never lost the weight. There's a lot of grief that comes with that and a lot of loss. And you're not alone in feeling that way. And I don't want you to feel alone in this journey because you're not. I struggle with a lot of these same things. Other people, other listeners, people in our Be About Being Better community also struggle with these things. And so that's why I developed our Better Together program, which is our newest and now only health coaching program. It's not even a health coaching program. It's our newest and only group coaching program. And there is going to be some personalized coaching involved with this program, but largely it's different than our other coaching programs in the past because we're going to be having more group discussions, talking about the nuance, talking about, yes, this is what I want for my body and my life. These are the diet thoughts that I want to be free from. And also, I still want to lose weight. I still want to be thinner. How do I reconcile all of this? There's just a lot of nuance to these conversations, and we need support in having these conversations and untangling our diet beliefs and our thoughts about food and our habits and what's typical in our family, especially as we approach the holidays. It's very difficult to handle all these things, and we're not meant to do this alone. We're meant to be in community. So I want to invite you to think about, could I benefit from a community like this that's struggling with the same things that I am? And would it be helpful for me to not just keep all of these thoughts in my head, all of this grief in my head, all this processing in my head, and actually talk about it and get some tools for how to handle it and get some confirmation that you're not alone? I just invite you that as we go through the rest of this episode to be thinking about that. And I want to invite you to consider joining our Better Together program. We start October 1st. So this is our last week of open enrollment for this round of the program. And It really is amazing. And this program is specifically designed to give you community, to give you a space to talk about these things, the hard topics, our inner wants and desires, and to start to figure out, where did this stem from? And is this desire healthy for me? Is this desire serving me? Is this habit that I'm doing? Is this food rule really serving me? And how do I break free from these food rules and dieting habits that aren't serving me, so that I can live a life that is joyful, that is vibrant, and that ultimately is sustainable? Because we know that diets are not sustainable over the long term. So, this Better Together program is your path to food freedom. It's your path to body confidence. It's your path to a healed relationship with food, body, and exercise. And we're just better able to make lasting, meaningful change in community. We can't do this stuff single handedly. We can't do this on our own, because we'll just be circling through all these thoughts. We need someone else to give us a new insight. And we need to know that we truly aren't alone in feeling a lot of these things. And I specifically designed this program with a framework in mind. So the program is 6 months, and it's guided by our Better method. And the Better method is our framework for the program. So Better has 6 letters. The program is 6 months. Each letter of Better lines up and corresponds to a specific month in the program. So this is our path to food freedom. This is our path to a healthier relationship with food and to fully break away from dieting for good. And first, we need to begin with baseline. We need to take stock of our dieting habits and our behaviors, the things that we've just been doing and have been hardwired to do, the food rules that are just automatic. Like, if you stop eating at 8 p.m. now, it's like, why is that? Like, we need to, talk about that. We need to talk about all the diets that you've done in the past and how that has served you, how it hasn't served you, the results you've gotten or haven't gotten, the empty promises. We've got to bring all of that to the forefront and really take stock of, wow, how has dieting and diet culture infiltrated my life, and how has that served me or not served me? How has that held me back from reaching my fullest potential? So we need to begin with that. Then in month 2, we really need to start embracing intuitive eating. So through this program, I will be mailing you a workbook. So you will learn about intuitive eating and all the intuitive eating principles. And the workbook is fabulous. And I have a whole reading schedule for it. So each week we'll have a little reading to do and some exercises, things to work through. And then you'll bring those to the call, and we'll have really great, amazing, honest, real, deep group discussions on these topics. And you're going to start to learn intuitive eating principles to heal your relationship with food. And the first couple principles are ditching the diet mentality, honoring our hunger, making peace with food, starting to let go of these food restrictions physically. If there's a food that you physically can't keep in the house, we got to start inviting that in, normalizing these things. And you need coaching around that. Then in month 3, we're going to start to transform our thoughts. We're going to start to improve our body image, improve the thoughts that we say about ourselves. And so there's going to be a lot of mindset shifts in this, and it's going to be very body image focused in month 3. And we're going to start to be thinking about in what ways we mentally restrict, because you might have been physically restricting your foods in month 2, and we might have healed from a lot of that. You might now be in month 3 letting yourself eat a lot of these foods that you were previously restricting. It's like, I'm having the cake, the cookies, the ice cream, the pizza, the carbs, the sugar. Like, I'm allowing myself to have these things. However, I'm still thinking in the back of my head, I shouldn't be eating this. I'm a slob for eating this. I'm lazy for eating this. I'm gross for eating this. I need to work out extra to work this off. I'm not going to be able to eat stuff later because I ate this. So you might be having a lot of mental restriction and a lot of guilt and shame around the foods that you're eating. So we need to transform your thoughts. And that's going to be our focus for month 3. Then in month 4, we're going to be transcending into real life. So now for 3 months, you've been practicing intuitive eating, learning and internalizing these things. Now we need to translate these skills and this new intuitive lifestyle that's free of dieting restrictions into real life scenarios. Hello, the holidays. What about when you're sick? What about when it's a busy season? What about when you're in a transition or you're traveling or you have people visiting you? How do you keep up with all of this? So we're going to be navigating how to deal with difficult people in your life, difficult family members, people that are in the thick of diet culture themselves, and you're trying to break away? How do you deal with the holidays when you're sick? What do we do? How do we translate this new lifestyle into other real life scenarios so that it can actually be sustainable this time? That'll be our focus for month 4. And then month 5, we're going to embrace more joy. I want to make sure that you actually enjoy the life that you're living, because diet culture tells you that I don't care. Eat this, don't eat that. You can only have this much. You can't eat after a certain time. You can't start eating until a certain time. And that's it. If you're hungry or you don't like it, that's too bad. That's what diet culture says. So we're flipping that around. I want you to enjoy what you're eating. I want you to savor that moment. I want you to enjoy the exercise that you're doing and the way that you're moving your body. I want it to be life-giving. I want it to give you joy. So we're going to make sure that you actually enjoy the healthy habits that you're doing, because if you genuinely enjoy what you're doing, you're going to want to show up for that more consistently. So that'll be important. And then I also want you to start to embrace more joy in your life overall outside of healthy habits, eating and exercise. Because at this point in the program, you'll realize that you're more than a body, and how you look is literally the least interesting thing about you. So let's embrace more joy in our lives. What can we do that would be fun? How can we play? What hobbies do you have? And how can you get some coaching on rediscovering your hobbies in your life and how you can infuse more joy into your life? So that's what we're going to be doing in month 5. All of these months will be paving the way for month 6, our rediscover your purpose. When you are freed of this mental headspace, when we clear up a lot of this gunk and these food thoughts and obsessive thinking and thoughts of calories and how many calories we're burning with exercise and what we need to eat, when we need to eat, and is this right? Is this good? Is this bad? Oh my gosh, so many different things. When we clear ourselves of those obsessive thoughts, we have so much freed up mental headspace. Think about all of the other things that you could be thinking about: your relationships, your family, your finances, your career, your faith, other hobbies. Think about all of the things that you could be thinking about if you weren't obsessed with nutrition and exercise and diet thoughts and just plagued by negative self-talk. If we could clear up that, what could that free you up for doing? So I want you to rediscover your purpose, because we were made for so much more than counting calories and striving for thinness. So this is why we need to rediscover your purpose. And I'm going to help you do that. And we can't do that until you have gone through all these other months, all these other 5 months of the Better Method, because we need to heal. We need to rethink how we've been thinking things, rethink how we've been acting for so long. We need to reframe a lot of things, and we need to heal from a lot of things. We need to process things. And this is better off done in community. We are better together. So that's our Better Method. I'm just so excited. Like, for the women that have joined so far, I was like getting emotional on their sales calls, because I was like, wow, I can't wait for you to get to month 6 where we're rediscovering your purpose and you are free of all of this and so much more confident. And you don't have the weight of not liking yourself, not liking your body, and having all these diet thoughts. And I'm just so ready for you to be free for that, because wow, imagine when you have more bandwidth and more mental headspace at month 6, like what's going to be in store for you at that time. So much good is going to come into your life, and you're going to make such an impact in the way that you were meant to in this world, because you have so many specific gifts and talents. You're here for a purpose, and you're here on purpose. So imagine what you're going to be able to do 6 months from now, 5 months from now. So incredible. And the way to get there is by clearing all of this up and healing this up. So definitely head to the show notes right now and read the details about the program. And the links to sign up are right there. The prices are right there. We have several different payment options. And if those don't work for you, send me a DM. Like, I'm willing to work for you. If you know you need this, I want you in the program, because I want to help you get there. And I know the women that are already in the program want to help you too, and they need you as well. You're going to be such an asset to the community, and they're going to be an asset to, like, it's just, the community really, really makes it. And it's just going to make our discussion so much more fruitful, and you're going to have more transformation learning from others in the group. Uh, if you know that you are made for big things in this world, but you recognize that your health is holding you back, you need this program. You need this community. So head to the show notes and click that link about the Better Together program and enroll there. Send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok if you find me there, and let me know what questions you have. And if you're unsure if the program is for you after listening to this, then take our quiz. We'll link that up in the show notes as well. Take our quiz, see if it is for you. And if you already know, yeah, this sounds like me, head to the link in the show notes, because that's where we'll be. So y'all, that's our better method, because we do it better here. Slay, because it's actually sustainable. This is what's going to get you away from dieting forever. If you feel like you have been stuck in this cycle of dieting and you're just tired of jumping from one restrictive diet to another, and you've only through dieting have lost and regained weight and you just feel so deflated, then you need this program. If you experience a lot of guilt and shame around food, and you struggle with feelings of guilt after you've indulged in these forbidden foods, and you have fear that certain foods will derail your progress, then you need this program. If you are battling with negative body image and you are constantly comparing your body to others, comparing your body to a previous version of yourself, if you just constantly feel dissatisfied with your appearance, no matter what size or weight you are, I can't even tell you how many times I've lost weight myself and I've still felt like crap. I still haven't felt worthy. I still haven't felt desirable. And I can't tell you how many times my clients have felt and said the same things too. It's like, hey, I lost the weight and my life didn't improve. I thought that losing the weight would make me more confident, would make me more desirable, would open so many doors for me. And it just simply did not. So if you struggle with that, you need this program. If you rely on external cues to guide your eating habits and you depend on calorie counting apps, strict meal plans, eating windows, hey, I got to start eating at this time and stop eating at this time, you need this program, because that is leading to a disconnection from your natural hunger and fullness cues. You're not building trust with your body. Our bodies are so smart. They have this innate wisdom. We talk about that all the time in this show. So if you're relying on these external eating habits, you're not trusting your body's inner wisdom. And you need to rediscover that. So you need this program. If you feel overwhelmed by the conflicting nutrition information out there, because Lord knows it's very difficult. The last episode, we just talked about the aspartame scandal and how it's like there's so much even going on in the dietitian community, which makes me so sad and so frustrated. There's just so much conflicting information out there. It's very hard to sift through if you want to learn what's going to work best for you and your body and reconnect with your body's inner wisdom so that you can trust the signals that your body is giving you. You need this program. If you view certain food groups as the enemy and you believe that carbs are the devil and different food groups are to blame for your weight gain, health issues, and that's leading to unnecessary restrictions, then you need this program, because we need to dig deeper as to like why that is. Where did that start? And are those beliefs actually serving you? Or is what is contributing to your dissatisfaction, your lack of joy, your feelings of restriction, and your weight gain? Is the restriction what's leading to the overeating and the dissatisfaction in your life? That's what we need to discover. And like, why is that? And then how do we start? It's like we could discover that, but how do we start to untangle that? What do we believe instead? And where do we start with that process? These are the conversations we're going to be having on our group calls in this program. If you experience chaotic eating patterns, if you're skipping meals, if you're the person that's having girl dinner, it's literally just an almond or a piece of popcorn. Like, girl, we gotta have a balanced meal. We need a better girl dinner. And y'all know that I love girl dinner. I have girl dinner every single day. I either for dinner or lunch, like I love it, but we got to make those balanced. So if you're skipping meals, if you're restricting during the day, and that's leading you to overeat in the evening, and you're waking up to eat potentially, you have really intense feelings of hunger and deprivation. If you're feeling ravenous, and then you're eating so fast, you get a stomach ache. Like, you need this program so we can heal a lot of that. So you can feel peace around food, actually enjoy the experience of eating again, because that's possible for you. And that's what's really intended for us. So if you struggle with those things, you need this program. And if you are feeling alone in this process, You're not alone. So many of us are struggling with these things, and you've come to the right place, because the Better Together program is where healing begins. And it happens when we're together. We're better together, y'all. Oh, I'm so excited. So head to the show notes, get the link, sign up. It's all there. DM me with any questions you have. If you're really unsure after listening to this, if the program is for you, then please take the quiz or send me a DM. I'd be happy to hop on a call with y'all and let us know if you're like, yes, I want this. This is so for me, but the price is a factor. Please send me a DM, because I want to work with you and work something out, because I don't want the price to hold you back from this level of healing. Because I know, wow, if we could just heal your relationship with food, exercise, and your body, like, I just know, because I've seen it for myself. I've seen it with so many clients over the years, how much is in store for you on the other side of that. So much good, so much growth, so much impact. And you're meant to contribute to that. But right now, your health may be holding you back. So head to the show notes, get those links, sign up. We start October 1st. So you got to sign up by October 1st. That is our deadline. And I hope to see you in the Better Together program. And y'all, thanks for listening to this episode, and I will see y'all soon. Hey y'all, thanks again for listening to the Be About Being Better podcast. I so appreciate you. If this episode made you laugh, smile, think about yourself or your life differently, in any way making your life better, I empower you to share the show with 3 people who, just like you, need to hear this message and have this type of transformation in their lives. I personally read all the reviews of the show and see the Instagram story shares, and it honestly gives me so much joy to see that our mission is making people's lives better. And the reviews really do help in increasing our impact. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. If you need personalized support with anything discussed in today's episode, or need help creating a sustainable, diet-free lifestyle, take my quiz. It's linked below in the show notes, and that quiz will help you see which one of our coaching programs is right for you. Thank you so much again for listening, and here's to being about being better.